Hello everybody! This is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So we're going to have a lovely one today because the question is, what's going well in my life? What's the positive in my life at the moment? So even if things are going a bit wrong, things are a bit tough, it's not the way you wanted it to be, everything's not going to plan, it doesn't matter, there's still something good going on in your life. You just have to look for it and value it and appreciate it. And this reading is going to help you to find it. So remember that this is just going to be a generalised reading. I'm not going to go into many specifics, if at all. So just bear that in mind when you're listening to it. We have option 1, option 2, option 3 and option 4. The timestamps will be in the comments section and in the description box. Check the description box for any information that you want on the decks that I'm using, the cards I'm using and all the rest of it. It's all there. And if you have any other questions, you can always email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. So, I want you to get all really relaxed, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths and let go of all your tension. I want you to let go of all your fears, anxieties, or your resentments, or your negative thoughts and feelings before you ask yourself the question, what is positive in my life at the moment? Because if you allow that negativity in, it's just going to skew the reading. It's going to influence your gut. It's going to cloud your judgment, and we don't want that at all. So clear your mind and your heart. And when you feel open and ready to actually hear the answer, ask yourself the question, what's going on in my life that's positive? And then trust your gut and make your choice. If you need a bit more time to do that, then please press pause. When you've made your choice, go ahead and click on the timestamp and I shall see you there. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, this is your reading. So what's going really well in your life at the moment? Start at the bottom. Witch's Cottage. Security, that's nice to see. Midnight Prince. Ask for what you want, be honest. 5 of Atames, that's the 5 of Swords. And Page of Wands. Let's move that across a bit. This is lovely. Straight off, this is lovely. You're clearly in a place of security. So you might feel that things are insecure at the moment for whatever reason, but actually don't allow yourself to be deceived. You are in a very, very secure place. It's the Witch's Cottage. It's about security in where you live. And our house is our castle, it's our home, but also it can be representative of who we are as people. So if you feel secure in yourself, in your values, in your morals, in your attitude, in your friends, in your family, that you just generally feel secure and that people have your back, you're in much more of a receptive position to allow people in because they can't break that which is secure. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense? That you're in such protected in a way. You're protecting yourself as well as, you know, people looking out for you. And that allows you to be free, to express yourself, to be introduced to new ideas. This is about being so safe and protected in there that new things can come in because you're not worrying about having a roof over your head and having enough to eat, somewhere where you can, you know, thrive and feed yourself and clothe yourself and be protected from the elements. So then you can stop worrying about the basics and allow more radical ideas to come through. Do you know what I mean? You can start experimenting, reading different types of books, reading or listening to different kinds of podcasts or films, or being more experimental in your diet perhaps. Maybe if you've had a restricted diet or you've always eaten one way and you've not tried different foods from different cultures, you're in a position now you think, well, actually I can have a bit more money to spend on different types of food that before I just couldn't afford it. I could only afford to spend on a restricted diet because it was cheap food and that's it. And the same with fashion and clothes and sort of the self, if that you've only had enough money to have a very limited wardrobe, but now you've got a bit more money and you can buy some better quality clothes or clothes that you had wanted to buy but couldn't. You've got the security to do that. And it's allowing you to be honest with yourself in what you want. Basically, that security is allowing you the freedom to be what you want and who you want to be. I should establish whoever that is, whatever that is, whatever you want to do with your life. You're starting to be in a position of security and confidence in order to ask for that. You know your own value. This card specifically is about this man here who's made all the swords, the 5 of Tames, and he wants to sell them to this merchant who's going to haggle because he values himself. He values the money he has earned and he doesn't want to let it go too easily. He wants to have value for money. But in having value for money, he could be shortchanging the craftsman. So the craftsman has to stand up for himself and say, no, the swords took this many resources. It's taken me this amount of time to make it. You're also drawing on my natural or learned skill of craftsmanship. That has a value, that has a price, and you will pay it. If you're not willing to pay it, you don't get the dagger. So they both know their own worth, and once they respect the value and the worth of each other, then they can come to a mutually beneficial and equal trade, basically. And you're in that position where you value yourself and what your craft is, whatever that represents, or of the self. And because of that, you're like, no, I know what I'm worth, what I'm value, and I'm not gonna settle for anything less. And so therefore you're out and on an adventure. It's the Page of Wands. This is like the traveller. It's the young person going out to find the world, to meet the world, or allow the world in, if that's more your thing. And that's what's going really well in your life, is that in a sense you're becoming more adventurous. With security, you can become more adventurous. And people don't realise how important that is, that you need that security, that foundation of family, I'm going to say, and community, and just generally being safe. And that allows you to be adventurous. If you don't have the framework of not having to worry about, looking out for yourself, or that if you think that, if I take a bit of a risk, the people around me are going to be there for me. It's much easier to take the risk. It's harder to take the risk when you feel that you're on your own and no one's got your back. So you're in a great position, because I think you've recognised that. And it's allowing you to explore yourself and explore your abilities and to be more adventurous in some way, because you have this security. So yeah, value that, appreciate it, and when the time comes around, you be the security for other people and allowing them to be more adventurous and to go for what they want and to be able to say what they want. And that's how you pay it back. Yeah, that's lovely. I mean, that's so positive. That's really, more in depth than I thought I was going to get in this reading, but it's so significant that you have the security you need in order to thrive. Once you have the essentials, then you can start spending time on the non-essentials, but just as important, which is self-value. So those of you that chose option 1, that's your reading. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments section, because I do enjoy reading everybody's comments and getting feedback to see that it's helped you. So please take very good care of yourself. I really wish you all the best of luck for whatever your adventure is. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, if you've chosen option 2, this is your reading. What's going positively for you in life at the moment? Oh, Hex Banishment, that's good. Keeper of secrets, use your discernment, confide in a trusted friend, keep silent about knowledge. Then the Sidis Sib. I can never pronounce those. I should learn. But anyway, that's Temperance and Strength. So you've got an important reading because you've got 2 major arcanas. I do feel that actually, that those of you that chose option 2, there might be something going on that is having an impact on you. It's like a negative thing. It's fighting, troubles at work, troubles in your relationship, or just general stuff that happens in life that's a challenge. But what's going positively for you is that you're not letting it get you down. You're banishing the things that are no good for you. You're making the negative thoughts go away. And I think actually you're opening up. I don't think you're keeping the secrets. I think you're confiding in a trusted friend. I think you're opening up, and that for you the key is to banishing the negative thoughts. And I think you're doing that by exposing them to sunlight. That, you know, you're talking to your friends about the things that frighten you or worry you, and you're listening to their feedback, or just simply the process of talking about it is easing it for you. And you're balancing things out. You're making your own potion. You're making sense of what's going on in your life and providing your own healing. I think you really are. And that's giving you strength. You've got an immense amount of inner personal strength to draw on. It takes a powerful person who truly knows themselves and has a strong sense of self, really, to be able to banish negative thoughts that are unhelpful to them, that are holding them back. You know, it's easy. I slip into negative thoughts and thought patterns, and then I'm not very far in before I think, no, I've got to stop. This is unhealthy. This isn't helpful. The idea of feeding the wrong wolf, that there's 2 wolves inside us, that a good wolf and a bad wolf, and the one that thrives is the one that you feed. And sometimes I feed the negative wolf, and I have to stop myself and say, oh, no, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to think that way. And I stop myself. And that's just, that's important, and just as valid as never having the negative thoughts at all. It's easy to say, oh, I never have bad thoughts, but we all have bad thoughts. It's what we do with them that counts. That's what matters. So I think that you're in some sort of negativity or having it happen to you, but you're not allowing it to destroy you. Some of you might not even say, well, actually, I'm not having very negative thoughts. I'm just trying to get through the bad thing that's happening. That's good, and it's just as valid to the reading. You're being strong and rebuilding something within inside yourself that's stronger. It's literally what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So whatever's going on in your life, and you might not see this as a positive, but it is. It's very much a positive. It's very important for you in order to get through whatever is going on, and it is very much a positive in your life. And even now you might not necessarily believe me or hear me, but in the future you will look back and think, thank goodness I had that resilience, that mental attitude to banish out the bad in my life, whether it's your own thought processes or a bad relationship or a bad job or just being in a bad situation. Could even be self-destructive. But you're taking action against it and being strong, and well done you. Well done you. So value this, recognise it, and use it to carry on progressing forward in a happier life. So that's a nice, short and sweet one for those of you that chose option 2, but I'm very pleased to give that message to you that this is what's going on in your life that's positive. So I definitely wish you all the best of luck for the future, and I really, really want you to take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. What's going positively in your life at the moment? So we start off with Handfasting, which is union. Then we have Stardust, premonition, galactic communications, beginnings and endings. And 2 of chalices, that's 2 of cups, and judgment. So this is lovely. I like this reading. So, make sure you can all see on the camera. Yeah. So, the obvious one is a romance. That something's going on at the moment is, it could be the beginnings of a romance, you're just starting to go out, or it could be something that's solidifying into a proper romance. Because it's literally the handfasting, the union. That's the wedding. That's like the old pagan wedding of that. You would tie the hands together with a knot to signify that you're promising to stay together. And these two of chalices, the couple, are sharing a drink, like in cheers, like in celebration of an agreement. So if you do have a bit of a love affair going on at the moment, this is what's going on in your life that's really positive. If you're like, no, yeah, my relationship's going well, but it isn't in the early stages, we've been married years, whatever. It doesn't have to be about love, actually, because this is such a generalised reading and I want it to be relevant to a lot of people. It can be the unification of two people in anything. So it could be two business partners deciding to merge their companies or to go into business together, or to work together on a project, or to simply agree on something that is binding, that is in a union. So, because we've got beginnings and endings and this element of stardust, it could be anything in your life, from selling a house to buying a house, to selling a business, buying a business, to doing something where you agree to disagree, but that you're unified and sure of it, and it's a promise you're going to keep. So it could be something in your relationship that's just been agreed on. It could be something in your business that's just been agreed, or your terms of employment. This could be you and your boss, that you've agreed a new contract in terms of your employment, and it's going to be agreed upon and promised. It's the union, it's there, and it's a new beginning in your job. And it's really going to change things, because we've got judgment, which is being reborn, to hear the call. All these people, in essence, were buried. The angel has blown the trumpet and they are coming out of the ground, and as butterflies, to be reborn. And so whatever this situation resonates with, it's now completely changed. You've managed, I sense, to renegotiate or to negotiate or to begin again a relationship or whatever that's now going to be completely different because it's been agreed on, which is, the handfast, the union, is that the relationship of boyfriend and girlfriend is being changed to a casual or semi-casual relationship, to a permanent one, a one where you commit to each other, legally commit to each other, in a sense, morally commit to each other, that you promise under the terms of the marriage contract to stick to those terms. That's the change, and it forever changes a relationship to something else and changes your life to a different kind of life. And that's where the judgment card comes in, that it's being reborn into something new. The old hasn't been lost, it's just being changed. There was the old, but it's now being reborn. So this is also, as I say, relevant if you're already in a relationship. Maybe there's something that you've been fighting over and now you're agreeing to start afresh in whatever sense. So this is really good, because it seems to me that this is meeting midway, it's compromising, coming to value what you need but also what they need, and compromising where compromises can be made in order to have a new beginning together. And this is really positive in human development, because once you learn to compromise, the reason you can compromise is because you're valuing other people's needs as well as your own. It doesn't have to be above your own, but you place equal value of the needs of others as the needs that you have. You're not saying my needs are more important than yours, or that their needs are more important than yours, because that's not true. They're 50-50 equal value. And that's important. Once you can do that, you can sort of get yourself out of any dispute, because you're not going to give way on things you don't want to give way on, because you understand that they're important to you, but you can understand why they are asking for the compromises in the negotiation that you wouldn't normally consider important because you're considering their point of view. So this is all really important, and that's why it's so positive, because you've got through something, but also because you've learned a necessary life skill. And you've got yourself a brand new beginning from it. So if you ever need another brand new beginning, you know how to go through the process. And it's all to do with communication. I know it says galactic communications, but in terms of the reading, it really means communication. You've learned a valid communication skill. So whatever area of life this resonates with, it doesn't matter. It's the message. So some of you, yeah, it's about getting married. If that's true, congratulations. If it's about getting a new job, congratulations. If it's just about sorting out a long-standing problem where you can agree on something, congratulations. So a nice, sweet reading for you. I'm very pleased to tell you that's what's going on in your life that's very positive. I wish you all the best of luck with whatever this all means. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 4, this is your reading. What is going on in your life that's positive? Now, I only wanted one of each card, but you actually got several out of a couple of the decks. So we start off with Witch, which is healer, Candles, which means magic, Secret Doorway, working with intuition, second sight, opening dimensional doorways, Stolen in her sleep, unaware, unconscious, unawakened. So I only wanted one of each, but you got 2 of each of these. And then these, you just got the 2 I wanted, which is the 7 of Chalices and the Chariot. I'm going to have to set this up differently as to the way I did before. Make sure you can see everything, yeah. So, what's going on in your life that's really, really positive is that you're going through dramatic change. But I don't think you realise exactly how much change you're going through. And it's all inside you. I'm not getting the vibe that this is actual physical change in your life, like moving house, changing job, changing a relationship, ending a relationship, starting a new one. This is all within you, that you are going through, I want to say like a seismic change. It's a big, big change. You're not, you know, what's really going positive at the moment is that you're really healing. And I think it's yourself and also your surroundings. It's about being a natural healer and being in sync with the elements and with the seasons and with the natural world around you. And that's really positive. So if you've been spending more time in nature, like whether you've been gardening more, or small things like you leave a little bird feeder out, or you're more aware of what's going on environmentally in your local area, this is all positive, because you're in a sense taking on your responsibility to the area that you live, the land in which you live on, and you know, and the life around us, that's, you know, not there to serve us, but to live independently in its own like parallel world. Like the crow doesn't owe the witch anything. It just lives its life in a, you know, in the same area and has different needs, but has equal value. So there's that sense of being a natural healer because of the knowing the value of the natural world around you. So the witch knew where to go and pick what looks like lavender in her natural world. You also have great powers of manifestation at the moment, and for my mind that means that, in a sense, what you want to achieve in life, if you apply your mind to it, you can make it happen. You know, it's not about wishful thinking, it's about recognizing that you want something and doing something about it. So actually, you know, be careful about what you really, really want, and explore it, because you have lots of options at this moment in time that you know. And I'm really getting the feeling, because of this card actually, that not all of you can see all of these options, but they are around you. So you've got the amazing ability to heal things in your life, to make things happen in your life, and you have lots of options about that. And this is all wonderful. I mean, just those top 3 cards are just fabulous. Because of this sense that you can get so many wonderful things in your life. But I'm just getting the feeling, because of the Seven of Chalices and stalling in her sleep, that you don't know what you want. But this is about being positive, and it's actually in a positive way. You don't know what you want. You can't see the options. You can't see what your choices are. And I think that that's on purpose, because you're changing within yourself. It's talking about second sight opening. I think this is always about reaching another level of understanding of the world in which we live. You know, it's like maturing, and like when you're younger, you can only see things from being the perspective of being young. The older you get, you start to recognise, you remember what it's like to be young. Sometimes you mourn that lost youth, but you're also recognising what it's like to be a bit older and reaching an older age. And you can see more perspective, you have more experience. I think that's what's happening with you, is that although things don't seem particularly clear to you at the moment, you are really changing within yourself. And I think it's slowly and subtly changing. And you're actually directing this manifestation more than you think, because we've got the Chariot. So I think that you are propelling yourself forward into being a new person with a new life, and that possibly even that you're subconsciously directing this change, but you're not quite sure where you're going or why you're going there yet. I think in the future, with time and hindsight, you'll be able to look back and say, oh yeah, this is why these things were happening around me. But you do have options. So if anybody out there is feeling that they're limited and they don't have the options that they need, you do. You've got many candles to choose from of all different colours, and you have many cups to choose from. One of them will be right. That's the message of the Seven of Chalices, is that one will be better above the others, and you have to use that discernment. But I think at this moment in time for you, you can't see that at the moment. You can't see which is the best choice for you. Your judgment is clouded, but that's a positive. So in a sense, you need a bit more time to see what's through the doorway. But you're only at the doorway, you haven't gone through it yet. So you possibly just need a bit more time to heal from something. But you are healing, you're just going through the process. And soon you will wake up and be able to see where you are and see what your options are. But in a weird way, I think that it's just the delaying. You're being delayed, or you're delaying yourself subconsciously, because you know you're not sure what you want yet, or what your final decision is, or what all of your options are. But I think that once you do, that's it, you're gone. Vroom. You'll be on that chariot, clicking the reins for the horses to get moving, so that you can get on and manifest what you need, because you have these skills, you have the power to manifest, to make and create options for yourself, and to keep healing. And that's so important, healing yourself and healing others. And I think you're smart, and I think you're wise, and I think you're very, very intuitive. But at this moment, you're possibly going through flux, and you just need a bit more time. So that's your positive. So if you feel that you're a bit stagnant and stuck, don't fret about it. Just enjoy your life. Just get on with things. Keep on collecting information. Keep on healing or dedicating yourself to whatever. And when the time comes, you'll be moving forward. And there will be a time that you have to sort of jump on the chariot and get going. So those of you that chose option 4, that's your reading. I'm very pleased to give it to you. That's actually very much a positive. A lot of people think, oh no, nothing's happening in the immediate future, is a bad thing. It's not. Lulls in action really give you time to reevaluate and assess and make plans. And that's what you're going through. And I think that you're accumulating knowledge. It really feels like an accumulation of knowledge and options and choices at this moment in time. And that you will be able to do that in the future. So I wish you all the best of luck for the future with this. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.